Can open market operation quantitative easing help? Presentation by 987OnlineCentrals. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration, poverty reduction, medical issues, legacy buildup, and being a solution to a host of issues affecting our communities? We will discuss the following content in the video. Content of discussion. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? What do modern-day statistics tell us about poverty and money? What does the data tell us about heart attack and mental health due to financial issues? Does heart attack really cost the economy over $100 billion over a decade once dead? Does mental health tied to finance cost the economy over $250 billion per year in medical cost? Can quantitative easing open market operations be used to aid the international trade of American goods? Other issues we shall be covering: retirement saving challenges and the social security issues in New Jersey and Illinois. Disaster preparedness infrastructure in pressing communities in Louisiana and California. Highway, road infrastructure congestion and cost-benefit of tunnel infrastructure. Critical minerals discovery and reserve. Rural the adequacy infrastructure system. Housing cost challenges. The need to remove the government of the debt burden, through grants to the Treasury. National Education Infrastructure Exchange Program for states like Mississippi, Arizona, and New Mexico. Medical Program for the Organoids and National Rural Medical Rotational Program for states like West Virginia, Alabama, and Kentucky. Budgeting issue for Connecticut and California. Raising cost of grocery expenses. The need to get the government off the debt burden in securing quantitative easing funding, which should be in easy qualifying grants. Supporting international trade of American good with open market quantitative easing. Call for your perspective. What challenge could we come across and how can we pave a course forward? Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? The Open Market Operation Department of the Federal Reserve is responsible of administering quantitative easing operation. This was evident in the following financial crisis: 2008 to 2014 financial crisis, $3.6 trillion source. 2019 to 2023 COVID crisis, $8.9 trillion source. Contact us for citation reference 1 to learn more. We would like the Federal Reserve to implement quantitative easing measures for space exploration. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? The economic fundamental of the standard gross income per capita of $45,000 to $80,000 excludes many earners' capability of investing in space exploration, only generating enough income for one planet. When you factor in all accounts of expenditures, there is not enough left for space exploration. The only valuable solution we see is the use of quantitative easing to spur growth and development of space exploration. We are opt for 3 to 5 times increase income through quantitative easing mechanics and additional requirements. This is because of the cost of materials to withstand the harsh environment of space or locations like Mars. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? We are also opt to development our own artificial organic planet to learn the science of building planet that can support life naturally. To do this we consider resources like how much algae for water and oxygen creation will be required, how much dirt, concrete and structural engineering will be required, how much vegetation will be required for fertilizer creation to support the oxygen, rain and atmospheric pressure requirements. Take of instance our efforts to build a planet that can support 500 individuals representing all major industries of the NAICS. We have figured out 21,161-story skyscraper will be needed in all 50 states for water creation for atmospheric pressure, weather and oxygen purposes. The planet we are discussing about will be in the same orbit as Earth 3 to 5 times as far as Earth gravitational force behind Earth orbiting the Sun. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? We have figured out that the skyscrapers can be completed in 10 years with current innovation of 3D print, by companies like API's Core and Cobot. A huge obstacle of this effort is the cost. The build-up of the skyscraper is estimated to cost $1.7 quadrillion, whereas the propulsion cost should be around $57 trillion. We are not opting to compensate any firm $1.7 quadrillion of $57 trillion, but we believe price control as to what we see in the medical industry can drastically reduce the cost. We believe that cost cutting should also work hand in hand with quantitative easing for space exploration. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? Concerning increasing wage by 3 to 5 times current earning does come with some requirement. Like the candidate must be employed for full-time, part-time with an employer or university, in addition conditions if they are retire or have a medical condition. The assumed increase of wealth will also be dedication of space exploration and activities. It will also be support with our poverty and generational wealth creation programs that will be supported with social workers, wealth manager and religious leaders like wealth coaches. Can quantitative easing aid in space exploration? Recent study have shown the following: those without money make prudent purchasing decisions, as was confirmed by Give Directly and MIT Sloan School of Management. Professor Tavneet Suri in a research project where they gave a rural community unconditional funds for a span of 10 years. Contact us for citation reference 2 to learn more. Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? See into what researchers tell us about heart attack and mental health have to do with financial stress. How much in economic value do we lose to heart attacks and mental health? Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? See into what researchers tell us about heart attack have to do with financial stress. Do financial issues contribute to heart attack risk? Yes, financial stress significantly increases the risk. A meta-analysis found people under financial stress have about a 19% higher risk of a major cardiovascular event, heart attack, stroke, or cardiovascular death. Contact us for citation reference 3 to learn more. Presented at the 18th Annual Congress, this study reported that significant financial stress was associated with a 13-fold increase in odds of having a heart attack. Contact us for citation reference 4 to learn more. Broader socio-economic disadvantage, like persistent poverty, is itself a major mortality factor. A 2023 JAMA study found cumulative poverty is the number 4 leading risk for death in the US, associated with nearly 300,000 deaths annually. Contact us for citation reference 5 to learn more. Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? See into what researchers tell us about heart attack have to do with financial stress. 1. Systematic review and meta-analysis. A comprehensive analysis of 7 studies found that individuals facing financial stress had a 19% higher risk of experiencing major cardiac events, including heart attacks, stroke, or cardiovascular death. Contact us for citation reference 6 to learn more. Can quantitative easing aid in mental health? See into what researchers tell us about mental health have to do with financial stress. 1. Financial anxiety and depression prevalence. In 2025, a Northwestern Mutual survey found that 70% of Americans reported feeling depressed or anxious due to financial uncertainty, with 60% experiencing sleepless nights tied to money worries. Contact us for citation reference 7 to learn more. 2. General mental health impacted by money. According to the TIAA Institute, 42% of US adults say that money negatively affects their mental health, with financial stress contributing to missed work and decreased focus. Contact us for citation reference 8 to learn more. 3. Money as top mental health stressor. A recent Bankrate survey, March 2025, reported that 43% of US adults say money occasionally negatively impacts their mental health, more than most other stressors like politics or personal health. Contact us for citation reference 9 to learn more. Summary. Across various surveys, 4 in 10 to 7 in 10 Americans experience anxiety, depression, insomnia, or other mental health challenges due to financial stress. Money is often one of the most frequently cited causes of mental health strain. Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? How much in economic value do we lose to heart attacks and mental health? Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? How much in economic value do we lose to heart attacks? Heart disease caused 1 in 5 deaths in America. In the United States, the total number of resident deaths in 2023 was 3,090,964, a decrease of about 188,893 compared to 2022. Contact us for citation reference 9 to learn more. Minimum of 618,000 deaths were related to a heart attack. Estimated loss of income at $50,000 equals $31 billion over 10 years. Average life expectancy for those living without a heart attack, $309 billion. Can quantitative easing aid in heart attack and mental health? How much in economic value do we lose to mental health? A 2024 National Bureau of Economic Research study, echoed by Columbia Business School and Yale, found mental illness, including anxiety, depression, and serious disorders, costs the U.S. about $282 billion per year, roughly 1.7% of national consumption. Contact us for citation reference 10 to learn more. Depression alone in 2018 accounted for approximately $236 billion in costs, primarily due to workplace losses and healthcare. Contact us for citation reference 11 to learn more. Anxiety disorders add another $50 billion annually. Can quantitative easing aid with other issues? Retirement saving challenges and the Social Security issues in New Jersey and Illinois. Disaster preparedness infrastructure in pressing communities in Louisiana and California. Highway or road infrastructure congestion and cost-benefit of tunnel infrastructure. Critical minerals discovery and reserve requiring a $64 billion investment. Rural the adequacy infrastructure system. Housing cost challenges. The need to remove the government of the debt burden, through grants to the Treasury. National Education Infrastructure Exchange Program for states like Mississippi, Arizona, and New Mexico. Medical Program for the Organoids and National Rural Medical Rotational Program for states like West Virginia, Alabama, and Kentucky. Budgeting issue for Connecticut and California. Raising cost of grocery expenses. All these are issues that can be supported by quantitative easing open market operations. Call for feedback, advantages and disadvantages. What are the Fed regulators' thoughts on use of quantitative easing for space exploration, financial support to those suffering from heart attacks and mental illness, and how can the Federal Reserve offer solutions to deal with the other issues? Recap of the video. We talked about use of quantitative easing in space explorations, medical and other issues affecting America. We thank you for watching, and that concludes the video presentation by 987 Online Centrals LLC.